Now it's live. Good afternoon. My name is Nancy Tran, and I'm Director of Grants and Development of Freedom Inc. And I'm here with my coworker, Manya Moa.
Good afternoon. This is Manya Moa.
And we are in Madison, Wisconsin, standing here on the South Beltline. And behind us is our banner drop from this morning that says, "Not your fetish, white supremacy kills." White supremacy was at work on March 16, 2021, when Robert Long, through a series of mass shootings, murdered 8 people, including 6 Asian women. We know that the recent murder in Atlanta was not due to Robert's mental wellness. It wasn't due to him having a bad day. It was due to the audacity he had to live out racial violence and white supremacy on the bodies of Asian women who he believed were disposable and invaluable. We know white supremacy kills because of the constant pattern of police brutality inflicted on Black and brown people every day. Where Long was spared his life and had several hours to go from one business to another to kill multiple people. We know if he had been Black or brown, he would have already been shot dead by the police. In fact, we know that Black people have been murdered by police for doing far less. White supremacy kills because we know the violence inflicted on Black and brown people are not on the same levels as what white people doing the same thing experience. The roots of white supremacy started in slavery, continued today in the prison industrial complex, the war on drugs, poverty wages, school to prison pipeline, deportation, and police brutality. America, in its wars abroad in Asia, has allowed American men to rape, traffic, and assault Asian women, children, and queer folks. It's allowed white America to think Asian women are here to be dominated. Our bodies are hypersexualized and fetishized and thus disposable. This is how we know white supremacy is working to dehumanize us and make us the disease so that we have to be gotten rid of. This is what allowed Ronald Long to say he had a sex addiction disease and that he had to murder our 6 Asian sisters. How did we become the disease when he's the one that's killing?
So hi again. This is Manya. I work at Freedom Inc. And at Freedom Inc., we have served the most impacted. Okay. We have served the most impacted for 20 years, including women, children, LGBTQI folks from our Black, Hmong, and Cambodian communities. We know intimately that the violence our members face and how white supremacy impacts how they move every day, from whether they can qualify for housing, whether they can whether they are being followed in stores, in the way they dress and look, they will be policed, and the choices that they make around their reproductive rights. I work directly with victims and survivors of sexual and domestic violence. And the Hmong women that I work with, they don't use police when they don't feel safe because they know that the system has not been built for them. And the system has failed our communities over and over again. Too often we see women being criminalized when they call the police. And when they are in the system and due to what white system see as violence, kids get taken away. When women call the police, I have seen that get dehumanized and laughed at by the police officers. They don't take our women seriously. They don't see our women's problems, and they don't see us as humans. This weekend, 2 Hmong sisters were murdered by their partners in domestic violence cases. We know that patriarchy, upheld and supported by white supremacist values, enables men to continue to kill us with impunity. We also see Hmong men who have not stood up for us and, in fact, mock us for our work. The system of white supremacy has Asian men thinking they will advance if they uphold patriarchal values. We women are not fooled. We know that we will come for our Asian brothers when they have disposed of our sisters. This is why Freedom Inc. fights against deportations and the right to return for our Asian brothers. We will not let white supremacy divide us and take our attention away from our path to liberation. We want to defund police and to have community control. We want American military out of our countries and to stop enabling global sexual industries. We are fed up, angry, and spent. We will not be invisible. You will not, we will not dispose us. We know how to build community and how to nourish our people and organize.
We ask everyone in this community to come out and join us today. Our team will be here all day between now and 7 p.m. And we need all the support that we can. Bring your friends, bring your work, bring your cards, bring your lunch. Come and hang out and keep us company. We have put out a statement about the Atlanta murders, and you can read that on our Facebook page. Along with our statement, we also have a set of demands for our country's leaders. We ask that they divest, invest, and protect Asian women. They need to divest and end the police state by advancing community control, defunding the police, working on police-free schools, including defunding ICE, cancel and pardon all final orders for removal, put an end to U.S. militarism, repair the damages caused by the U.S. military, hold accountable Americans abroad who rape, traffic, and assault women, children, and gender nonconforming folks forced into the global sex industry, defund the military, pull out from countries, recognize the harm, invest in BIPOC gender-based violence services and funding centering QTI people, and invest in the leadership and wellness of BIPOC youth, women, and poor working people. Protect BIPOC QTI people and stop cuts to federal funding for services, including the Victims of Crimes Act and VAWA. Cancel rent and housing for all. Provide COVID relief to low-wage BIPOC workers. We ask you to join us today and all week. Join us on Facebook to see other actions that will be occurring. Thank you for supporting Freedom Inc.